So today we are going to be talking about the basic toolset for data analyst, specifically in Python. So talk a little bit about the different Python libraries for data management. And we have some other tools that are a must to have for a data analyst. One of those is SQL. If you know how to program in SQL, and either in MySQL, Oracle, or something. Also a reporting tool like Power BI, Tableau, QLixSense. But today we are going to see the basic Python libraries for a data analyst. So first, we have NumPy. It was released back on 2005, so it's some years old now. And it means numerical Python, and it is used more for data scientists and also data engineers because it manages complex statistical analysis. So, for example, if some of you already took linear algebra at university, you may remember calculating the determinant of a matrix or making the scalar product of two matrices. So you may know that these kind of mathematical operations are very often used for data, mainly for data analysis, but for predictions and all the data science field. So here in the image, you can see some of the most uses, some of the uses of NumPy. Then we have Pandas. This is built on the top of NumPy, and it uses a more friendly or more known, let's say, like interface for us, because it's very similar to how you are familiar with the tables in Excel. So you have the tabular data in Pandas, and it is used for data cleansing, data exploration, data transformation, time series analysis. You can think of Pandas as a very powerful and quickly Excel for managing larger data sets. Then we have Matplotlib. This is used as a visualization library within Python. As you can see, can create all sorts of different visualizations, pretty fancy. And then we have Seaborn. This is built on top of Matplotlib. So you may start thinking like, what is the difference between the two? Why should I use one or the other? So the main differences between these two visualization libraries is that Matplotlib lets you customize more your visualization. It doesn't mean that you cannot by using Seaborn, but you will need to use more code. And Seaborn has a lot of built-in visualization palette, let's say, or different features that we would need a lot more code if we were using Matplotlib. So now this is just a basic introduction of these 4 libraries that are used in within Python. So now let's see a quick example here. I am using Google Colab. I just want to walk you through a little bit if you are not familiar with it. So Google Colab, it's a free cloud-based environment. It is mainly used for data analysis, deep learning, machine learning, and if you have a Google account, then you have access to Google Colab. This is only for Python, and there are a lot of great features in this environment. So you can share your code. For example, I wanted to show you before starting, like going deeper in the code, this great feature. So, for example, you want to see how to make a camera capture with Python, across output communication, or something will bring the code, and you will just need to replace things, and you can use the code right away. So, for example, how to replace num values in a column. So you will just click on it, and then this will bring the code. This is an easy one, but there are also some other that are more complex. You will just run it, and yeah, this is just a test, and it will take a test data set. Also, I think Patricio were mentioning this in the previous meeting 3 weeks ago, that you can just drag and drop your CSV file here for analysis and all of that. Also, as you can see here, you can add code or text. And yeah, I think that's it for now with Google Colab. So I really recommend you to use it for personal projects. If you want to start learning more about data analysis, this is a very recommended tool for beginners, and not also for beginners, but also for more advanced roles, let's say. And so first, I won't be going too much into the detail of this. If you want to have the code later, you can just ping me through Teams, and I will show you the code. So we will be looking at some employee attrition data set. It has a lot of different fields, like as you can see here, if business travel, so if that person travels rarely, frequently, the attrition status, age, department, sex, education level, even distance from home. So now that you are familiar a little bit with the data set that we will be working with, so I just dragged the CSV file here, I dropped it, and the first thing we will start importing the libraries NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn. As if you have already worked with Python, you can tell me, or you can assure that its syntax is easier than when you compare it with other programming languages. So as you can see here, all I'm saying is to print the data set. This is the name of the data frame that I just imported, and I want to print the head, and this is going to give me the first 5 rows in the data set, just to know a little bit about the data set. These are kind of the things that a data analyst do when we start getting familiar with a data set, just exploring it, see the null values, if we have an outlier, if we have repeated row. So we start exploring the data and making the adjustment, cleaning up the data, and so on. So then we will see the data types that we have in the data set. So as you can see, most of them are integers. The other ones are strings. Then we can check the null values, how many null values we have by column. So as you can see, we have null values for any column in the data set, which is not common, but it's just, a mock data set. And finally, the data set info will show you the null values, how many null values you have, and the data types in just one view. And finally, here you can use this statement to describe your data set, the integer fields you have. So I think this is also pretty cool about Google Colab. As you can see, I got this table, and you can start like you will do in Excel, like applying some filters on it. You can sort it. You can also make a copy of a CSV, JSON, a Markdown. So this is pretty helpful. Also here down you have some suggested charts for analysis. So you may find that helpful. You can take a look at them. So yeah, that's also one thing why I recommend to use Google Colab. Here, for example, we are removing any duplicated rows. Then, as you see, as I was saying, the syntax is pretty easy. So, for example, from the data set that I have, I'm going to drop these columns here. And then we can start exploring with Seaborn. So what we have seen so far, we were using pandas. As you can see, it's for data manipulation, data transformation, data cleansing, and it can get as fancy as you want, as complicated as you want, and depending on the data set you have, there are some data sets that are very messy, so you will need to do a bunch of things to clean up the data. But for this example, just some quick and easy steps that we do when starting with working with a data set. So let's start. Then we can start looking some basic like plots in the data. So how many males we have, how many men, how many women we have in the data set, just to start getting familiarized with it. For example, as you see, you are about to see the different charts that we are going to get, but the line of code is pretty easy to understand. So we are going to make a pair plot. So it's just comparing three measures or three integers or floats, and we are going to compare it one by one. And what is going to be the legend and the palette. So you will need to go and look at the documentation and look at the different palettes you have. And with that simple line of code, then you can start making some good or taking some good insights. So for example, you can see that attrition is more common for ages between the 20s and the 30, let's say. Then after that, the age range, we can see that the attrition rate is lower. Also, for example, here we already see it by age. But for example, for total working years, you see that in average, when the total working years is under 10 years, the attrition is more likely. you can have as many columns and rows as you want, but it will take like more time and it will make your analysis more complicated. So I would suggest to get familiar with the data a little bit, and then you can decide what kind of measures you would like to compare between each other. Let's look at this one. So as you can see, we can start getting some fancy charts, let's say, for data exploration with an easy line of code. So here we just to compare the percent salary hike against the relationship satisfaction to random measures. So we are not getting a good feedback here because we had like all these dots aligned, we could start seeing some correlations. Let's look at the other one. This kind of charts are commonly used for data exploration. These are not recommended for the data visualization part of if you are going to present it into a dashboard or something, because you will need to start explaining about the chart, the graph, and it will make things harder for the data users or the people interested in the data. And so I would recommend to make this kind of graphs just for you, and then you start seeing some patterns or some correlations in the data, and then you can translate it into easier charts like a bar chart, area chart, something that's easier for the consumers of the information. I would like to show this one. I really like this kind of charts because they are they bring so much information because they tell you the correlation between two metrics, how big is the correlation. So, for example, we can start seeing that there's a big correlation between the total working years and the job level. So we could start thinking that maybe in that company, as the correlation between the total working years and the job level is positive and is high, maybe people don't get promoted that much. So maybe I will start like diving into that, and maybe in some other charts or trying to find or to prove this, like with some qualitative information. Also, we have, for example, here a big correlation between years at the company and years in current role. So maybe again proving what I was saying. Maybe people don't get promoted that much. Maybe that's also one of the causes of attrition. Here, for example, the one is an easy one because performance rating has a big correlation with the percent salary hike. So yeah, if you are asking for a salary hike, you will need to prove your performance, right? So yeah, I think these kind of charts are very helpful, bring a lot of information, and as I was saying, just how long, like 2 lines of code. Then let's start. This one is like a more fine view of what we were seeing. So we can see here that the correlation between, or the percentage of attrition for human resources that are female is very low. So maybe males in this specific department are more likely to resign or to quit than female in human resources. We can start playing with this a little bit. So I just changed some parameters here. So here we were looking the attrition by department and gender. Here we're going to see it by marital status and gender. So as you see here, male that are married present a higher attrition rate, but female that are divorced are less likely to resign. So this kind of analysis is what you can do when you first start working with a data set. As I was saying, this is much of this first like exploratory charts is better to keep it just for you who make the analysis, and present to the user something that's more easier to understand. And yes, so that was what I had for today. I don't know if you have any questions or feedbacks or something. Okay, so I hope you had enjoyed it. Remember that if you want to have the code, if you have any questions, if you have a data set that you would like to start exploring as we did with this one, you can ping me and we will be more than glad to help you.
Carlos, I
Yeah.
just have one question. At the beginning of the presentation, you did something that appeared with a lot of questions if you didn't know what to do on Google Colab. That's a feature I didn't know, and I don't know if you can do that again.
This one here.
Yeah. How did you do it?
Yes, you just go here to this icon, code
Okay.
fragments, I guess it's in English, I don't know. I was playing around a little bit with it,
That's
and
cool.
this one for camera capture it's really cool because it's not like an easy code. And let's make a quick example here. Where is camera capture? So then if you run it, let's run again. Well, I think it's because I am sharing my camera. Let me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I got the capture there.
Nice. It's really
Yes.
cool.
So then you will have the JPG image, and yeah, you can start doing your coder.
Yeah. Well, just a final reminder. I don't know if you can show again your whole screen so I can have
Yes.
like a final. So guys, I think that what Carlos just showed us, not the camera capture, but the whole process of the data analysis, that will be an easy automation for like a report because you can download this in a PDF file. So every time that you need a monthly report, you can just uh, go with the script and you can download a PDF file. You can send your leader, your boss, or whoever needs it. So what Carlos just showed is a really good process, an automated process using Python that can really be helpful for your data analysis. So again, thank you, Carlos. It's been really helpful, and I hope everyone enjoyed it as well as me. So thank you.
Okay. And one last thing, look at that. If you have an error, then you have this button that will take you to Stack Overflow. Yes, we hope
Yeah.
to have it in ChatGPT one day, but whoever
Well,
uses.
Stack Overflow now has integrated
Oh,
GPT,
okay,
so that yeah, you can find a lot of answers now. Yeah.
okay, okay. So thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed it, and see you next time.